My hitter, my hitter.
Hey,
Hey, we back. We back. I got the boys on again. We don't got no guests. It's just us tonight. Hey, why it look like Bryce come up the bat? It looked like he be doing the little the little snaky leg before he hit. You seen it? He do the jump with his leg.
It be working.
Yeah, dude, work.
exactly. That's called routine.
His joint good. He hack at first pitch all the time, every single time. It don't matter where it is. He hack it. All right, so look. So tonight I did like baseline testing for all of my strength training athletes, and then I also incorporated just like an offensive baseline. So I did like a T exit velo. I did. I have one of those like what do you call it? The swing trackers that you put on the end of the bat. The
The
Diamond
Zep.
Kinetics.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Diamond
Yeah,
Kinetics.
Dominican.
Oh,
So I use that as well.
hold on. I'm gonna cut you off, man. Tell Diamond Connects come see me because I reached out to him and they was faking. Y'all was faking. I should go over to Blast and promote their stuff. Y'all faking.
Hey, you trying to get the free promo? Come on, let's get back on topic.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, do your thing, man. I just had to say that.
So,
Try to play
damn,
me.
that boy could hit. Damn, he booted that joint. He looked smack like somebody I know out there. So, uh, I did the Diamond Kinetics testing with the exit velo measurables just as a baseline. How would you two use the numbers along with the strength training stuff to try to help the athlete out over the course of like a 8 week block? What would you do?
What type of? We talking high school athletes?
Yeah, just high school athlete, like a I ain't
So
gonna say elite level athlete, but
the measurables you took were exit velo,
yeah. So I took
and then
EVs and I took all of the tracking data that Diamond Kinetics gives you: hand speed, uh, casting distance, impact to ball trigger. Like it gives you a whole bunch of different, like whether it's relevant or not. I'm
yeah,
just, what's your take? Like I don't know if you even use all of that information. A lot of people don't know how to break down the info. So what do you think?
I think the information is good. I think any type of information is good if you can track it, and then over a period of time, see where you are in relation to where you were, right? And if you feel like you're getting more productive at bats or better solid contact, better hard hit balls, you can see the difference in the two, right? So I'm on the right track, or vice versa. If stuff's going south, then I need to do something different. But I do believe a lot of times we get too wrapped up into the measurables, right? I have guys get in there like, oh, exit velo, coach, 99,
One time.
but it doesn't it doesn't translate to the field, right? You're 99 off the tee, great. You just hit a hard ground ball, pull side. In a game, you went 0 for 3 with 2Ks. You missed the ball by that much.
Raf, you good at
No.
this. You a T specialist. Is there an exit velo hack?
A T specialist.
Basically.
Is there a T hack?
How are you measuring it? What kind? Are you using a gun? Are you using a ball coach?
I got
What
a
are you
little bit.
using?
I got a little bit of everything. So I got pocket radar. I got
Mhm.
uh the
Rapsodo.
I got that as well, and then I got a gun. Everything's within probably 1 to 3 miles an hour is different, so they're all pretty accurate. But
10-4.
you got a hack for us? Like
No,
what would you do?
man. Look, the only thing you can do is try to hit it as straight to that radar as possible.
But that's
That's the only thing you
but what
go
if the
ahead.
radar behind you though? What the motherfucker gonna get the he go he gonna get the doing the Chinese ninja fungo where he hit forward then swing and hit it right back.
Man, I got a I got a better question for you, and I never even thought about this. This came across my feed today. Not how should you be hitting it, or how should you be tracking it? What kind of baseball are you using?
There we go. Hey, that boy onto something right there. Hey, that joint matter big time because if you use a brand new egg out the pack, they come off the bat way better.
Hey man, you gonna have to translate some of this stuff you be saying because people not go.
You know what an egg
That's
is,
a
man. You know the white
yeah.
egg, a
Oh
pearl,
yeah.
The pearl.
fucking the A1010. Um,
18.
so if you use a brand new ball out the pack, I think for whatever reason that joint jumped way better than something that's been hit
Mm,
on for a while. What you think that's just
right.
more like a core and like
It's wound
durability?
tighter.
It's tighter. Yeah.
It's tighter. You know, the fit a little more snug. Feel me?
Hey, kill it. Cut.
Cowboy is crazy.
But nah, but that's the thing with the older baseballs. Older baseballs, they beat up. They beat up. They're a little more loose. So,
Mm, mm.
so,
Pat my own self on the back.
so it don't jump. It don't jump like it used to.
What we
You
used to
know.
listen to? We used to listen to that Pleasure P. We used to listen to that Pleasure P.
Boy, he caught a case. Boy, he caught a
Pretty
case.
Ricky.
Oh man, but no, I mean, you think about it, it makes a difference, and I never heard anybody talk about that, but they talk about like a 15 mile per hour difference between using pearls, yeah, using pearls. I'm talking about an MLB wound baseball versus, um, a ball that you done got at one of even balls that you got at one of the tournaments. They're probably still wound pretty tightly. But the same baseballs you got kids taking BP with, the ones that done turn from pearls, they looking brown or gray if you always sitting inside on turf. It ain't the same.
Hey, hey, you bring up a really good point. And Ty, you may can speak to this, but I feel when I go to PG tournaments, especially down there, down south, I feel like them balls they hit way harder and farther.
Hey, they go way further than the real
Them
ball.
joints, bro, they
Really?
live.
Why?
Yes.
First off, they don't got no seams on them. So that's first and foremost. As you know, the big league
Mm-hmm.
ball don't got no seam. It does have a seam, but it's like ingrained into the actual material of
Mm-hmm.
the baseball. The balls down there, they smaller. I feel like just because the seams ain't raised. And when
Right.
they get to hitting them things, man, like come on now, like you play ball and you see a bunch of kids. You know damn well kids ain't popping no balls with wood like that. Them balls get out the yard, man. You would think we
Man,
playing
them
at
balls
Core
be
Stadium.
gone.
Yes, you think we playing at Core
Mm-hmm.
Stadium? Like the air the
So
same.
so basically, what you telling me? Somebody got to connect somewhere, and they getting MLB grade baseball.
Correct.
What I'm saying is they got MLB grade baseballs, and those numbers are elevated when they doing measurables because they coming back, and these kids' numbers be off the chains. And
Mm.
I think baseball's got something to do with it.
This is true.
Hmm.
But I was more so curious, Raph, if there was a hack. Like I hear all the time, like people move the tee one side versus the other. You just said hit it straight as you
Yeah.
possibly can, which I truly believe that's
Mm.
true. But like you touched on it when we was talking to Joe, people hit their hardest contact pull side. So like if I move the tee in
Oh, absolutely.
close to the inside part of my front foot and I just get to turning and burning, can I get a higher number? Like should I raise the tee
I
up? Should I put it down to the earth? Like what should I do?
I think that's a good point. If that's the case, I think you need to move the radar. It just what you making that point with him making that point, Reggie. Guys pulling the baseball harder than they hit it backside. If I'm a lefty and if I'm using a ball coach, one of those little pocket radars, or if I'm using a gun, I would have it pointed that way, letting it with T set up inside, letting the guy just turn and burn.
But y'all got to understand something though.
Talk to me.
Velocity is measured as soon as it leaves like the hand or the barrel.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like none of that matters as far as pulling it, hitting it backside. Like it's just gonna get the velocity when it actually leaves the barrel of the bat.
So when it
So
impacts
I
the
know
ball.
from right. So I know from doing exit velo, any ball that's chest high and down is going to be harder than a ball that's elevated up.
Hmm.
Cool. So that
I mean,
airtime.
Hmm.
have y'all seen it differently?
Yeah, no, you're right. Like if you
Mm-mm.
throw if you throw a ball from right field in your showcase or in a pro scout day, the dude typically he should be right behind you. But I remember when I played ball, he was in front of me, and they used to always say throw the joint at his feet. So what you do,
Right.
you throw it at his feet. But then you have some people who throw the joint into the parking lot, right? I, which one is better? Like if I throw it in the parking lot, that really show my arm strength. If I throw it at his feet, that show I don't got no carry. Which one? Which
Come
one
on
matters
now.
the
Y'all
most?
know how to do this. Y'all didn't learn nothing from me and all our pregame. The first three balls that you throw from the outfield gotta be spot on. Through the cutoff man, on a line, one hop, all the way. The last ball that you throw,
Let it
you let
fly,
that
huh?
thing fly.
You throwing it
You
in
putting that thing
the lot.
way up the net at the backstop.
So what's your sequence, Reggie? What we doing here? We get three balls to be able to show the arm strength. What you doing? Is because accuracy matters,
Oh,
velocity
absolutely.
velocity matters, and
Right.
carry matters. So they judging off of three different basically points that they note. So what you going with?
I mean, again, if I got four throws, right? I got two to third. I'm going from right field, two to third, two home. I'm
Okay,
trying my best to throw it right above the shortstop or the cutoff man's head,
Hmm.
right? I'm trying to get as much carry as possible because I want to get it there all the way, but I know I can still long hop that ball. Same with throwing home. I'm trying to throw it right over top of the first baseman's head.
what
Try
if
to long hop it
what if we don't got your
all the way.
what if we don't own your right arm? So what I'm gonna do then?
Hit the cutoff.
Yeah, yeah. So, here's what makes sense to me. What I look for, especially if I'm on the other side of the field, because I'm watching you throw from the left, I'm trying to see if that ball come out of a guy's hand like it come off a bat. That's why
Rising?
no, that thing, yeah, rising or that thing just stays straight,
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think a lot of high schools, I don't know if they don't have that type of
No,
arm talent
they don't got that arm.
or they don't understand that. But the dimensions are not the same in high school either.
Why they not?
A lot, they're much shorter in high school.
Fuck no, they not. My high school field probably bigger than the Radford field.
It all
Really?
depends
Yeah,
on where you playing.
no, it
Yeah.
ain't
I mean,
400
Who
and
hitting the
some.
ball out there though? That's the
I be
thing.
leaving it y'all. And I say that, but it's 400 in center at right. What was it? 405, 408, some shit like that at center. Yes,
Really?
you're right. In dead center, you're right. But like the gaps in the corners, those
Mm-hmm.
are the same. That that doesn't really matter. Uh, not to take away from your point, but like if you in right field throwing a ball, you in right field, you in right field. Like 320, 320. Like you in the same spot on every field, the same distance. Unless you're in center. If you're in center, you a little bit further back, or you're a little bit closer based on the high school dimension. But for Reggie, if he was throwing a ball in right field to third base or to home, he in the same spot regardless what field he on. That don't
Mm-hmm.
change. Like I don't. What's the furthest corner dimension you've been on, King?
370.
Where you play at?
Oh, corner. Oh, my fault. My fault. Corner. I was thinking gap.
That man was at
Corner.
Polo Grounds. What?
you've
Hey,
been
that's a good topic right
you've
there
been
because
to
I know y'all see those unique baseball fields that ain't got no fences, but probably 340.
you went to Fort Myers this
Probably the
year.
farthest.
Did you go to Fort Myers?
Yeah,
Did you play on the main field, the stadium field? You see how deep that joint is?
deep.
That joint ain't fair. And kids be hitting the joint out of there.
It's the balls.
It's the balls. That's the truth.
Hmm.
What they say, the ball's juice.
But Todd, to address your question, how much is the exit velocity gonna matter if they can't even put it together in the game?
Though.
That's a lot of these kids don't understand. It's like you can't put together in the game. I don't care how good your exit velo is. It's cute when they get no results.
You spot on. I can't even be mad at your statement there. But you got to train these kids to something. They got to be working towards something.
Yeah,
Like, so if we
right.
doing this whole off-season program of just
Mm-hmm.
strength training.
Right.
We're not really hitting at all. I took the numbers today. We ain't really doing no hitting, period. But I want to see
Right.
where we get to in about 6 weeks. So
Right. What kind of growth are we getting?
yeah, I'd like to think we get somewhere, but like you say, in game, the EV don't matter at all. And you could get a base hit 75 miles an hour. You could flip your wrist and get a base hit 40 miles an hour. So you're right there. He's safe. The boy ain't had no hit. He like 1 for 50. He got a
What's the
single.
score? What's the score of the game?
His twos, 2-1.
I even give you this, man, and this the quote. It crosses my mind from time to time. I can't remember who said it. I think it was John Spears, but I can't remember who said it. But the weight room is not going to help you hit that curveball. And the day I realized that, it was different. Like I knew how to take my results in the weight room and make them translate to batting practice, but it was never really concrete in my head how much different those are two different skills.
What, lifting and
Those
hitting?
are absolutely because you could be the most gifted guy in the weight room and you can't hit a baseball, right? But you can't really train. It's a lot of talent that comes with becoming a great hitter, but you can supplement hitting with weights. You can't supplement weights
With
with
hitting.
hitting.
I don't. This gonna be a topic for a later day, but there needs to be lifting in everybody's diet. Like you can't play ball. Like I could attest to it. Like we went through those first couple of years, man. Everything off my bat was light. Like,
I did I hit beans.
hey, everything was light. You're not impacting nothing. Like Joe said, like you ain't impacting nothing. You're not hurting nothing, right? If you don't
Mm-hmm.
got no physicality attached to your body. So I think with lifting comes work ethic. You start to develop a different discipline that you probably never had before. Then it creates that competitive nature because we was all in there
Mm,
lifting. We in there competing with each other on the lift front.
right.
That was the only reason we got strong.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then
and then too, you got to prove it to yourself that you can push weight.
correct. You remember King? Mars was in there trying to pick the look. Was dying to try to get the. I ain't gonna say no numbers on the cast. Was dying. He was doing KD work, Kevin Durant numbers, but
Mm.
but when you finally got there, it was a good feeling, and it allowed
Right.
us, so when you say it don't translate, it don't, but it do because
Yeah, I know what you
it's a
mean.
lot of that stuff that translates over to the field. I,
Mm-hmm.
we, I don't know. I just feel like you need it. These dudes I'm watching on TV, they way bigger than us, bro.
This is true. Even the small guys. This is what it does. It brings a certain level of intentionality to the field when you know that you can dominate your opposition physically.
Correct.
It's just so hard in baseball because it doesn't always translate, right? You could put two football teams out there and you can almost say without a doubt 90% of the time the bigger team is going to win because they can impose their physical. You can't impose your physicality in baseball
Yes, you can.
on anything,
Yes, you.
only on the baseball.
No,
Oh, how?
no. It. This takes us down a different rabbit hole. But at age 12 and 13, when you start converting over to that big field, those 12-year-olds who already hit puberty and are bigger than everybody else are way better than any of the other kids on the field. They call them man childs, right? They out there man childs.
Mm.
They the best players on the field. I watched this kid this past weekend in his coach pitch game. He was 8, and he hit a ball off the bottom of the wall, bro. It was I think it
Come
was
on.
like 220. He hit the ball off the bottom of the wall, and I was just like, yo, it's no way. But he came up to like my ear. Like he ate everything he did was more physical than Jace or anybody else on our team. He just was bigger. So maybe not at the older levels of what you're saying isn't the same. But at the younger age group, you go to Cooperstown one time. The team that got the biggest guys on the team, that's the team blowing folks out. You can't even do nothing about it.
But we can't agree that that's genetics, right? We're talking, 12 and under, 13-year-olds. They ain't really in the gym. They ain't pushing no weight right now. That's genetics. They just big just because, they got good makeup. You know what I mean? Like it's natural. But what I will say is I was talking to one of the high school guys the other night. When you take an athlete that's in high school, that's on the radar of schools or, that wants to get recruited, and you take the guy that who is in the gym, he looks the part. Boy, solid, big legs, big butt, solid chest, right? Can hit the ball well. And you take another guy who is not in the gym, right? And he's not as big, but can hit too. Coaches are going to take athlete A, the one that's in the gym, because he physically looks the part. Mm-hmm. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah, Raph said that during the other
day.
I do. He did. He said it the other day. Yeah, it's something to be said about that though, because the dude who looked the part, as we all know, ain't always the best player on the field. I think the IQ, the smartest player on the field typically is the best player on the field. But yeah, the big dude gonna get.
Bro, that's why so many guys get looked over. Let's admit that's why guys fall through the cracks. Certain guys, they go play Division I baseball that don't deserve to be there, and you got another guy that's absolutely dominating that Division III. You got one guy that doesn't get drafted, doesn't get his opportunity to play professional baseball, and you got other guys that go and they give them all this money, and a year and a half later, after short season and halfway through, A ball, they're out of minor league ball.
Man, shout out to Coach Furber, man. We had a real conversation the last time we spoke. He was out here in Phoenix. And he said, man, and I think a lot of us as coaches, we go through this. You get on the field and you got a group of guys that they're watching the other team warm up and they can't get their jaw up off the ground. And at that point, you already you defeated.
Defeated.
You ain't winning. The chance of you winning is like 0.000.000.001. Right. I mean, it's not good at all. And so he did something so ingenious. He pulled his guys to the side and he went through, I think it was like the top 25 prospects in the nation. I think he said it was probably like 10 years ago. And he showed them where they were today. And there were so few players that were still playing the game. He showed them guys like players that were number 4 in their class, transferring from school to school, trying to go D1, but then they go JUCO because it didn't pan out the way they thought it would. Guy gets picked up in the late rounds. He's playing for a long time. Guys getting picked up in the early rounds and they're already released. The kids don't understand the ranking system. Almost has virtually nothing to do with how you're gonna pan out. Because Reggie, you know better than anybody on this call. When you get to that level of the game, you being good is just as important as who's vouching for you behind the scenes.
Dang, preach.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. I mean, it's a little bit of truth to it. I know guys, they want to go play Division I baseball, because it's the notoriety that comes with it. But dog, I would much rather go to a good D2 school where I know I can play every day than go to a Division I program, ride the bench for 2 years. Like, you coming in as a red shirt? Nah, bro. I never even came in with that mindset. That's why the seniors and the juniors didn't like me when I showed up, because I came to start. I ain't come to play second fiddle to nobody. But the guys don't really have that mentality anymore. You know,
Damn.
they want to go, they want to pay their little dues. Okay, I might get a shot when I'm a junior. I might get a shot when I'm a senior. Next thing you know, freshman that came in took everything you thought you earned.
We were on a program where those dudes didn't. They weren't D1 guys. That's why we were what we were. That year when y'all played South Carolina, Raf. I think it was your first year when y'all
Yes.
played SG and y'all got drugged. Look, someone slipped all y'all roofies because they bent all y'all over.
Man, dude, I still remember that experience to this day. Ray Tanner was out there. I told you Ray Tanner tried to recruit me kind of on the spot. Ever told you that?
You should have took off, boy.
Oh man, I ain't know no better. I ain't know no better. Had I known, I would have not played not another game in a Radford uniform. But that was around that time they would make people sit out when they transferred. So I said, let me go ahead and stay put. But
Mm-hmm.
nah, man, you weren't there, Ty. You were sick, huh?
Yeah, I was out. My first year was
Man,
that was King's first year.
bruh. Man, look, I ain't never experienced nothing like that. I don't think even, probably the next biggest ballpark we played in with that type of electricity is probably UVA. Probably. And UVA, it doesn't hold a candle to. Am I wrong, King?
Y'all thought UVA was electric?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying as far as playing on that stage,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
UVA
You
and
said
South Carolina, they about the same. But when it comes to
okay,
fan
okay.
base and what you walking into, nah, it's not even close, bro. I still remember the first pitch I hit against Win Pelzer. He was on that thing throwing. He was 90 to 93, sitting about 91 consistently with a two seam. I never seen a ball move like that. Um, I think did I strike out my first time? I think I struck out my first at bat. I'm walking back to the dugout and the crowd is all over me. Every step that I took, grass, 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 grass.
left,
You
right,
you get you
left,
left,
right,
right.
left,
Yep.
right.
Right.
Sit
Man,
down.
sit down. I'm like, look, so I said, I'm at least have a little fun with this right here. When I got ready to get into the dugout, I just kind
he
of paused.
he chopped it up.
I paused on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I see, everybody can't play in that environment. I love that. That get me going right there. Like I saw, it was on, I think it was Youth Prospects. It was a little post, and there was a pitcher. Looks like he had just thrown. They said he had just thrown like a no hitter or something. And I commented. I said, I mean, I like the emotion. I like I like the intensity, but there's a thin line between confidence and being emotional, right? Exuberance and being emotional. And when the moment is too big, especially for pitchers, like guys that are ultra emotional on the bump like that, and if you can't replicate that every single time that you're on there, you're at your peak performance when your body's like that, and you can't replicate it. How you gonna duplicate that performance? Guys like that, I feel like, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Guys like that, when we played against guys like that, it's easy to rattle them. When they stop throwing strikes and they get out of that state, they're done for. I start patting you all over the wall. Team is once you start going like that, they done. Once your confidence goes down, hitter's confidence goes up.
That's a good segue. King, go ahead. You go right into it.
Oh, I was about to ask. You were talking about the crowd. I want to hear. I want to hear. I mean, and I guess Raf, that would have been yours. South Carolina, that's biggest
Oh,
crowd,
that's the most
like
live crowd
craziest
I've ever
environment that
played in
you've.
front of.
Ty, what's yours? What stadium? What team?
It'd have been
School? You know.
my brother's. It would have been my brother's games at Coastal. Them joints was always lit, just for no reason.
No, that you
Ugh,
played in. That you
ugh.
played in.
Man, I ain't got no meaningful.
I can't believe
I ain't
y'all.
got no meaningful games. I would say it was like
I
one of
think
my high school games. It was one of seriously. It was like
really.
one of yeah. It was one of my high school games where we played. Uh, it just have y'all ever played in like the Jupiter, like the Jupiter environment where all the scouts and stuff are in the golf
Mm-mm,
carts at the games?
mm-mm,
It would be one of those.
maybe.
Just because I remember playing. We were playing against Jamil Weeks' team.
Oh
It
wow.
was the Chet Lemons Juice team, and that team probably, I would say it probably had 5 draft picks on it. Um, they were really good, and we were like the sleeper in the pool. Um, I just remember there just being crazy amount of scouts in the stands taking a look at dude and some others for draft stuff. Uh, College wise, I got nothing for you, man. We look,
Nothing got you too hype.
nah.
Y'all will remember these two that
I,
I'm
I
about to
already
tell
know
you.
one you about to say.
I know
I
what you
think
about
I
to
know.
say. Call
Which one?
Davidson and High Point. They was talking straight cash to your boy.
Not not Davidson. Davidson really didn't get to me. Hey, I was player of the week. I was Big South player of the week against Davidson.
They was out
That
there chanting your name,
that
talking
weekend
about
series.
ay ay
Hey,
ay ay. Reggie has no penis. They was letting you have it.
hey, no, it wasn't Davidson, bro. But them boys at College of Charleston that pulled their
Oh,
trucks up
Hey, I remember
oh,
that. I was
at the fence
I
in
was
the
gonna say them.
outfield, bro. That's
nah.
they
I
got
thought
under
it
my
was High
skin.
Point. I thought it was
Yes,
High Point.
sir.
That was they when nobody pull up in trucks at High Point.
There were fans at High Point, but they were
Yeah,
I
standing
they were
know
up
what
like
in the
Reggie talking
tailgating.
outfield.
about.
College of Charleston, bro. They had the flags up in the
Is
bed of the
it
truck.
no man? Was that not Presbyterian?
Now the Presbyterian crew, they
They
was
were passing
cool.
out scripture.
You remember what Greg did. We ain't gonna talk about that too much. But but dude, College of Charleston, so look, they said everything, right? They dropping all N
There you
words
go.
and everything. But I don't know if I ever told I don't ever know if I told y'all this. So when I went to Helena, Montana for rookie ball that summer, yeah, that summer, I met a dude, teammate. He came up to me. He was like, "Yo, where'd you play?" I was like, "Radford." He was like, "Radford." He was like, "Man, that sounds familiar. Did y'all play College of Charleston?" I was like, "Yeah, we played College of Charleston." I was like, "We actually opened up with y'all this past season." And he was
Oh
like,
shit!
"Dang."
I remember
He
this.
said, "You." He said, "Wait, you was in outfield?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He said, "Y'all had all black dudes in the outfield, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, I want to apologize." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man, I want to apologize because I was one of the guys out there in the back of the truck, and we gave y'all the business. And I know we said some stuff that we
Hmm.
shouldn't have, and I just want to apologize." He
Wow.
straight up told me right there in the clubhouse.
Why was
Yep,
he? Why
coolest
was
dude
he?
ever.
First off, why was he in the back of the truck if he was in? See, that's that
Yeah.
bullshit, man.
How do you
You got Mars to be making the minor
Hold on.
leagues,
He
man, for
was
no reason.
listen. Hold on. He wasn't a player at the time, so he had already been in pro ball for a
Oh,
year or two.
oh.
He went back home because season hadn't started yet. So we start playing in February. So he went to the game to open up, and they was rowdy
Hmm.
out there.
hey, I remember, cause
And they got
I
under my
remember, man.
skin, man.
I had the Charlestons all mixed up. You got Charleston Southern, you got College of Charleston, It's a ton of Charlestons. I had it all mixed up. I got pimping home runs,
So
pimping home
okay,
runs. Why? What's why do people get upset about it? A or B? Why do they do it? Like what's the need to pimp the joint?
okay. Hold on, because I think we may be talking about two separate things. Are we talking pimping home runs minus the
Uh-uh.
bat flip plus the
No,
bat
the
flip,
celebratory, let it fly,
banging the chest?
animated,
I'm for it.
not not
I don't care. I don't
not
care how you
classic,
feel.
not the whole MLB Classic or the World Classic thing where it really means something to them, where they showing and displaying a lot of emotion based on their heritage and stuff like that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the joint where you see in college where dude from Tennessee, I'm gonna use him as an example. Come on, man, what you doing, bro?
That's a little much.
What like I saw one. I wish I could find this joint. I saw one where dude hit the home run. and he walked all the way to first, and then he threw the bat up in the air. Like he walked to first and threw it in the air from first. And you could see what social media does a poor job of is telling the true story. Because the true story was they came back from 9-0 down. That was the true story. To go up 10-9. So when he threw the bat, now that I know the true story, it's justified. Like, hey man, he was hyped up, but come on man, you done thrown the bat over the first base coach, over to the first base side dugout.
I'm gonna keep it real. I still got scrappy.
Story has it that bat ain't came down yet.
What you
I
say?
gotta scrap you at that point. It's just that's that's just
About to
that's
put the
just what it
paws
is.
on you.
You better hope this ain't a 3-game series, because like Goldberg said, you next.
Who getting the wrath of your actions? Who gonna feel it?
Oh, the hitter, absolutely.
It's
I don't
different
like
people who
that.
got
I
different takes
don't
on
like
this.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait. Are you talking? Wait. Are you talking from the perspective as like you're the pitcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now we the
if
pitcher.
Oh,
oh,
okay.
okay, yeah. If
All right.
I'm on that side of the L, we gotta go. I just don't. I don't
You
know,
just
man. It's just there's nothing professional about that. There's nothing. It's so over the top. There's
You
nothing
already
about
did the damage. You
right,
hit the home run.
right.
Long too.
Yeah, it's like it's just to me. That's an immature celebration. I'm sorry. That's just my perspective on a different era. There's a certain swagger with an appropriate pimp job that you just when you know, man, he that guy. Versus the guy walking down the line and throwing the bat up. Like, it's his first time, y'all.
yeah. Now see, look, those dudes look like idiots. I will say that, right? But you hit a ball, you stand in the box a little bit, you admire your work,
Oh yeah, ain't
you
nothing wrong with
toss
that.
the bat up with some swagger.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
You
exciting.
remember that ball Raph hit when we was playing Georgetown? When he hit that ball, I think we was at
Georgetown?
Davidson.
Davidson,
Was
dude.
that Davidson?
Yeah,
It
but
was at
we
Davidson.
weren't. I don't think we were playing Davidson. We were playing
Oh,
like a series. We
oh,
were
good
playing
point.
teams, and we were playing
Yeah,
Georgetown.
we played
And
That's a
Georgetown.
Raph
good
hit that
point.
home run.
It hit that
He
bird's
hit
nest
that
or
home run
something,
up
right?
there with a, where the Falcons had a little nest up there on the top of it.
Yeah, hit the birds. It did. It hit the little bird's nest on the light
Dude,
Hey,
pole.
and you stood there, and then you before FOH was a real thing, you stood there. You was like, "Fuck out of here!" Right? You was all hyped up. You started jogging down, and one of the coaches was ready to eat your look. They was ready to eat your lunch, bro. It was like, "You better get down the line." I think it was Schaffner or something. I don't know who it was.
man, like, I'm like,
Uh,
you don't see how far that ball went? No, like, I'm not even exaggerating. That ball was hit into the lights. It was
yeah,
hit. It was hit into the lights on the little
Yeah,
catwalk joint. You know how I know for
we saw it.
Oh, you talking about like live? Dude,
yeah.
I came
Yeah.
back like the next year and I still saw the ball up there. I'm not
Oh,
joking. My boy Ian Horkley, he pitched for Davidson. So I went to visit him. And we went down to the field. I said, dude, let me go over to this light. I think I hit a ball up there. Yeah,
He thought you was playing.
exactly. The ball was sitting, it was still sitting up. I ain't never hit a ball that far. You know, hey, them bats was loaded. You know what bat I was using?
the plasma.
Ooh, but it was the orange joint. That joint was, dude, that joint was baked, bruh. That
Oh,
thing,
he said it was
that,
baked.
man,
Oh god.
that thing was so high, boy. You could hit, man. And then
That
too,
was the
the
that was the
green
furthest. That was
plasma,
one of the furthest home runs I ever
dude,
seen, bro.
that thing was a tank.
That
That's
one.
one baseball I never forget.
You remember we played East Carolina, and it was that dude Ryan Towsley. You remember that name?
I don't think I
Blitz was
went.
pitching.
This can't be good. Whatever it is.
Come
Blitz
on,
was
man.
pitching, and the dude hit the ball into the junk. They call it the jungle or whatever out there in the outfield. He hit it over the right fielder's fence or whatever, and then just like over the people, and then it's like a little parking lot back there, and he hit it out there towards like the little highway area. And man, I'll never forget that one. That one, That was absolute match. That one. And lastly, it was old buddy for Richmond who hit that ball down there by the rugby field. He played at Richmond. He was a first baseman. I know y'all remember this home run. He hit the ball where the rugby goalpost was in right field at Radford. I'll never forget that one either.
I think I remember which one you're
For
talking
who?
about.
For what? For what
He
school?
played for Richmond, the University
Richmond.
of Richmond Spiders. Yes, he
How
played
does
for
I
them.
remember all this stuff? You remember more stuff than I remember, especially
Hey,
all the home runs that was hit off us.
yeah, I was out there. Y'all was on the bench.
Hey, Dave Chappelle hit 3 of them joints.
Hey
Tell
man,
me y'all won't hoping
that
he
was
was going to
another
hit the
game.
fourth.
That's another performance I never forget.
I was hoping he was going to hit that ball.
Man,
He grounded
No, he
out.
did.
Rico,
Did he ground
Dang.
out?
He he
Man,
grounded out his
I
last
seem
he was out
AB.
there having
I
a
seem
day.
to I need to start editing this story because I seem to remember it differently. I seem to remember that the fourth ball he hit, Reggie caught with his back against the wall.
Uh-uh.
It was a ground
You
out.
added, yeah, it was a ground out.
No,
You added too much theatrics to the game.
because he dropped the biggest F
Really?
bomb when he came
Mm.
across first base. Yes, I remember that joint. Because everybody was like,
Do it.
"Hey, he about to."
Yeah,
I
they
dropped the
was
F
out there
bomb too
sticking, man.
because I wanted to see that joint.
Rico had hit a home run, man. I was so mad, man. I was like, man, this little dude, man, I hit home runs. But no, Chappelle hit his. He was out there having a day, boy.
Right. That's probably one of the most dangerous offensive teams I've ever played against. Probably the most the most dangerous offensive team I've ever played against. Yeah.
For years.
Yeah,
Yep.
Years.
they were a threat. They were a real threat.
And I feel like even the year they won the College World Series, man, people were robbed. They don't even understand how good they were before that offensively. Right? I don't know if the pitching has just gotten up, but I thought
Mm-hmm.
even pitching wise, they were pretty sound. Um, but yeah, I don't.
They were
Listen,
elite recruiting guys. They got the cream of the crop, and it was just more so kids go to SC or kids go to some of the better schools down there, and then they wind up transferring over to Coastal because they weren't considered top guys where they were. They still recruit the same way today. They the top school in the state damn near, but they wind up getting second fiddle guys, so they call them. But
Cherry picking talent.
they legit, man. They legit. Nah, but my bad. Back on the pimping. King, I I can't get down with the pimping home runs, man, because it just I really don't feel like it's no room for it. And then when it does happen, everyone always get mad at the retaliation of the next batter getting hit. You know, oh you don't put it in his ear, blah blah blah. It was your fault whole time and shit. And now somebody else possibly hospitalized, and that's to the extreme. But somebody else hurt because you out there letting your shit trying to see how high you could throw your bat in the air like you 2 years old and shit.
Mm-hmm.
so why isn't the retaliation? I'm gonna strike you out the
That's what it
next
should
time you
be.
come out
That's what it
up
should
to
be.
bat, right? Right. So we don't get mad when pitchers be up there pounding the mitt. So, yeah, after striking out the side.
They
But
get
I
the
mean,
game. They get the game
it's just
live.
it is what it is. But hey, y'all know me though. I love me some good
Mm.
drama, some good baseball drama, because it's exciting, man. You know, the game it's just kind of even keel for 2 or 3 innings, 4 or 5 innings. It's kind of long. Score here, score there. But I see a good pimp job, and then some bickering back and forth.
Mm.
I get my
Hey,
popcorn
what they
ready.
do in the travel league? What they do
I
in the
love
travel
that.
league now? Because the young boys, they be talking cash. Ain't none of them about that action, but they talk cash in the dugout now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about these high school guys these days, man. They talk major trash. My last event, we
You
was
was
down in
where I live.
man, where was we at? Yeah, Virginia Beach, man. And my boys was getting into it with talking
Right.
talking crazy too. I let them have it because the other team they was showing off too. But these boys, I
Mm.
ain't never talked junk
I think
like
that
that.
the skin's so
They
thin,
they
man.
built different.
The skin is so thin. It's turning into softball. It's like a softball game out there.